Hey, how we doing guys? Great here, and today we're back for week number 6 of the P4G. We're going up against the TheUziGunner and his Thunderclap Titans. I should say that he is the current SPL champion. He is a very, very good player. Also makes incredible content, puts a lot of time and effort in, so make sure you check him out if you haven't already. And once again, no team builder. I do apologise. I lack the motivation, I'll be honest. No team builder, but it will be down in the description below in a paste. Any questions, you can leave a comment. And yeah, that way, leave a like if you're enjoying the content, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into the battle. Okay, so here we are for the battle against Uzi. Let's see what he brings. I feel pretty underprepared no matter what. He does bring Delphox, he brings the Sand Slash I kind of expected. Pheasantipity actually goes kind of crazy. The Delphox is a little bit annoying actually. That will cause me some issues. However, Hawlucha could just go crazy here. There's definitely a chance of Hawlucha going crazy. I'm going to lead off my Raikou. There's no Sandaconda. That's a little bit surprising. So I think I've always got to set up the light screen first. And then, yeah, light screen first. Then reflect. I guess unless Sand Slash leads. At which point, probably would be reflect first, but endgame Hawlucha looks very possible, especially if we can set up a sub. If we can get behind a sub, then we'll be fine, but I don't ever expect to be able to do that. Regardless, if we get to +2, we should OHKO near enough for everything on this team. But yeah, we'll see. We'll go ahead. We'll lock that in. Good luck. Have fun to Uzi. See what he wants to lead off with. It could be the Alolan Sand Slash. He has been known to lead off with that. Could see an Okie Dokie lead, could see a Delphox lead, maybe. I didn't really think about Delphox too much in prep, but it does make a lot of sense. I have the Psychic Terrain, it's pretty good against things like Armarouge. It's probably going to be like AV or some shit, or at least like maybe defensive. At least I gotta hope so. He leads off with Gintoki. That's actually like the best case scenario. Against this, he actually didn't bring a switch into Volt Switch, so I could just Volt and save my screens for later. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, but I can also just set up screens. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reflect first. Because if he's like Scarf on Okie Dokie, I would rather be in a better position against that, and especially also if he goes into the Alolan Sand Slash, puts me in a better position against that as well. But I'd say the lead matchup looking pretty good. Probably one of the better case scenarios that I could have come up with. Granted, Specs looks incredible right now. So we're going to give away our set. He is going to just go ahead and chili on out of there. So not Assault Vest, we know that much. He could go into his Grimmsnarl if he wants to. If he goes Grimmsnarl, I think I just Volt. I can Volt into a physical attacker, potentially. I could actually Volt into my Piloswine, set up rocks. Because he hasn't brought removal, he hasn't brought the Decidueye. I guess he does have the Sand Slash, so he does have removal. I tell a lie. I just forget that thing even has Rapid Spin, and I don't know if it will Rapid Spin in this game. But we'll find out. If the Sand Slash does come in here, I think I should be fine to just click Volt Switch. I wouldn't want to set up a light screen in front of it, that's for sure. I think everything else we should be able to set up a light screen in front of. Dunban, that is the Grimmsnarl. Okay. So I will just Volt on this. I will just Volt. He's going to reflect as well. Makes sense. But this does mean I get a bigger hit off with Volt Switch here. Unfortunately, we're doing like very little damage, but still. So I could go into Piloswine here. Part of me wants to go into Piloswine. I could also just go Pheasantipity and start trying to break. I think that's my preferred option. Albeit we don't have the light screen up just yet. I still think this is probably the better option. I am just going to Nasty Plot. Just going to plot, because I should be able to switch into his Delphox okay with Piloswine. I feel a little less concerned about it. Maybe famous last words, but... And he didn't bring a Terra Captain. So that's also something to think about. If I can get rid of this, it would be so, so nice. Perhaps Moonblasting once was a better play, but I also feel like there's a good chance he just goes into Slowking. And we should be able to 2-hit KO most Slowkings, unless he's like super, super Spadef. We'll see. Does he go into Delphox? Delphox would probably be worst case scenario here. Gintoki. Okay, that's what I was roughly expecting to come in. So we can just plot. And from this position, I will just click Moonblast. There's no reason to not do that. We do have the Reflect up if he goes out into Sandslash. Nothing else really wants to take a Moonblast here. This would be the one thing, and if he lets me get up to +4, then we should 2-hit KO that. Not to mention he shouldn't be able to 2-hit KO me. And if he goes hard into Delphox, I think that might be a better situation for me. Like, I don't need this to sweep straight away. Even if it gets a nasty plot boost, if I have a switch into the one that's in, or coming in, then we're fine. No boost. Okay, so that does under half. That's going to give us our weakness policy as well. So now our Moonblasts are really going to start hurting some things. Yeah, I'm just going to Moonblast. It looks like I should knock this out from here. He may also switch out, just because he's scared of this. We are pretty physically defensive, so if he goes into Sandslash, we should be able to eat a hit and then be able to Heat Wave it and kill it. Like a Moonblast at +4 is still doing a lot. It doesn't actually look like Moonblast knocks Slowking out from here, but I want to say that's not fully Spadef. Which could be good information for later on in the game if I set up with Hawlucha. Getting a Toxic on something. Probably Delphox coming in, right? Addison, that sounds like a Delphox. That's a Delphox. Okay, so this is probably going to do over half, or at least like around half. Yeah. Going to get a Toxic on it? No, that's tough. But I can go into Piloswine here. Because there shouldn't be anything that a Delphox can do to me. Outside of Focus Blast, of course, but... Unless he wants to make that read. Like, he has a real tough time switching into Vesendipity after this. Granted, if I had got a Toxic on Slowking, that would have been optimal. But I did... I think I used up all of my luck in a mock I did against Alex. Shout out to Onesie. So he's going to stay in or he's slower, but regardless, we are able to get our Piloswine in. That does absolutely no damage. And I'm pretty happy just to get my rocks. Granted, I could have just like clicked anything else. If he Calm Minds, then I just roar on the next turn. I don't really want any part of that. So he's Size Shock, that does make sense. He's Mystical Fire as well. That does very little. No, not my special attack, how dare you. Do I think he switches out on this turn? Maybe. Maybe he switches. Do I have a switch into this? I guess Veluza probably could. Is Earthquake free though? Earthquake is super, super free. He has got a light screen still up. Yeah, sorry, Reflect still up, so that's good to know. And I will just Earthquake. He encores. Okay. Well, I did want to switch, but, you know, it is what it is. Snow's going to go. Snow's going to go, and I'm just going to go into Raikou. I think that's just the best play. I am bulky, and I can get a screen back up. Mystical Fire does about 30% if he is max. If he is max special attack, but I don't know if that was, like, how little that did. I don't know if he is. Regardless, I'm just going to do a Raikou. He might Psyshock here. He Shadow Balls. Okay. That works out. Yeah, that doesn't do a great deal. His Reflect's going to wear off. I am going to Light Screen a turn, and then I'm going to Reflect. Light Screen works even against Psyshock. It is a special move, so yeah. Light Screen is the better play. And once again, we can set up our screen and just switch. As much as we've shown our hand with our Pheasantipity, I think we can actually roost up at some point and still get that +4 no matter what. He is going to stay in, I assume, to Encore. Yeah, that's fine. I got my screen up. I'm not worried. He could bring in the Grimmsnarl here. Regardless, I just go into Piloswine, right? I just go Piloswine and click Earthquake. So, yeah, Piloswine already starting to show some worth. I actually Shadow Balls again. Is this best case scenario for me? Because realistically, he cannot do anything here. He can't touch me at all. And his switch-ins to this Mon are not great. He's got to take rocks, and he's got to take an Earthquake. And this Mon is like his one switch into Pheasantipity at this point, and I feel kind of fine with that knowledge. Like, it's the one thing that's faster as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything quicker on his team outside of that, and I don't think there is. Oh, we've got Grimmsnarl, we've got Slowking. They're very slow. The Dunsparce is slow. Maybe he's Trick Room? He's got the Yellow and Sandslash in the Hail. That will outspeed. We get to see whether or not he's Boots on these Mons as well, which is quite nice. If he sets up the Hail or the Snow for me, then we become bulky enough that we should be able to take one from the Sandslash. He's just going to Shadow Ball again. Okay. So what's he just giving me Delphox? Just giving me Delphox for damage? Okay. Well, I mean, I'll take that. That's like his one Pheasantipity switch in. I say one. It's still a Pheasantipity, but you know what I mean. If he goes into Slowking here, I'm just going to Roar because I believe they probably want to get out Sandslash, and his plan will be to take the Earthquake and then pivot out. And if he goes for a Scold or whatever, then so be it. Piloswine's really kind of done its job at this point. As much as I'd like to keep it around, I think it's potentially set up fodder, and now he's got 4, but if I misplay, it could be set up fodder. In comes the Sandslash, okay. So this is going to take... This is going to take rocks. Iron Head might knock me out. I'm at 50%. It's a roll in my favor unless he's like invested in some way. It's not a Mon that I switch in particularly well on, so I could just go head and click Earthquake here. If he kills me, he kills me. Yeah, I think that's fine because this really the only job it had was to deal with. He does just Iron Head. He does kill me. So are you Life Orb? Potentially. We'll see. It's not Life Orb. Yeah, there we go. There's Life Orb. That's fine. Because this is Raikou and it's Reflect. And then it's a Volt Switch. And there's very little he can do about that. This Mon literally never outspeeds me. So yeah, I'm just going to Reflect and then Volt Switch. He might try and get his damage off here, because Life Orb Earthquake will still... It will tickle. It will definitely tickle behind Reflect. Yeah, 30 to 40. It's respectable damage. But he is going to take Life Orb Chip, and I feel like this is kind of his win con. Especially because he's bringing Kilowatt Roll. I kind of expected a Tailwind Kilowatt Roll to be able to outspeed my Hawlucha at +2. Maybe with enough bulk to be able to take CC, because it would actually be able to. So yeah, he's going to go ahead and just get his damage off here. It's going to be the EQ, to be expected. And yeah, it does a good amount. A very respectable amount for sure. And I'm just going to Volt Switch. He's negating how many turns I can use this to set up screens, but at the same time, he's losing a lot of health on this. He is going to withdraw. Okay, so we get a free switch here. It's going to be Dumban. That's going to be the Grimmsnarl once again. It's going to take rocks because we've seen it's Light Clay. And I think once again, I just go into Fezandipity. I think once again I just go Fez. And do I Roost up for a turn? I definitely could. Roost is definitely a play I could make. I could also just Moonblast and hope for the best. I think the better play is probably just to Roost. At least for one turn. As he is going to go for the annoying Parting Shot, but so be it. And I think we still have a turn of Light Screen, but if we don't, we don't. I can actually go out into my... the Dunsparce. Okay, well, I definitely want to try and poison this. That much I will say. I definitely want to get a poison on this. If it's Covert Cloak, that could be problematic. What can I do to prevent that? I mean, I'm Nasty Plot myself. He's lefties. That's good to know. So, I think I am going to Moonblast once. Just because we will outspeed. And if we get a Toxic, he can never be at enough health unless he is Rest. You'd then never be at enough health to be able to deal with my Hawlucha. So that's going to do pitiful damage, and we are, unfortunately, very unfortunately, not going to be able to get, but it doesn't look like a setup variant. So there is that. Could I just Nasty Plot on this? I actually could. Now I know it's not set up. Light Screen wears off. I will Nasty Plot once. I feel fairly confident in Fezandipity's ability to be able to take a hit here. Done. Sparse. Coil. It's good to know his Parting Shot. Parting Shot will make me believe that he's not T-Wave. That's a careful set. What would the Dunsparce with Calm Mind? I guess a Calm Mind set would be the better one to go for here. Boomburst to be his max special attack modest. Would not see it KO me. So yeah, this is setup fodder. Because it will be Dragon Tail. I think that's the only phasing move it gets. If he goes into Slowking, I should actually be able to plot up again. See what it could be Earth Power. Earthquake. Okay. I think now I'm just going to Moonblast. Just going to start spamming Moonblast. A +1. We know he's physical. Moonblast should do about 30-ish%. And again, if we can get a Toxic at some point, Fezandipity, that would be absolutely amazing. Toxics are probably the way to win this game, but Fezandipity actually looks like it might be able to win by itself, especially if he never gets up the Hail. He has to play this around my Reflect to like a place in which he can win with Sandslash, or at least like do the most work with Sandslash. So decent damage. Still no toxic chain, but it is what it is. What can I do? Not a lot I can do about this. Would love one. We know he's not Covert Cloak because he's leftovers. But yeah, just getting a single poison on any of his mons might be enough potentially to clutch up. He's going to take rocks, he's going to take a life orb on Sandslash. He has to be careful not to take that much damage during that time. Veluza should always be able to take a hit no matter what. As long as Veluza's alive, it should be able to take a hit. He's going to withdraw. Okay, so now I'm going to assume it's yeah, Gintoki's going to come in. But do we take a hit? Hang on. So I'm going to Moonblast. It's going to do not a great deal. Special attack drop doesn't really matter. How many turns of Reflect have I got left? Yeah, there's the one turn of Reflect. If I am at full, do I take a single hit from Sandslash? And if that's the case, I can probably deal with like his main threat. Yes, I should always be able to. So I am going to Roost, especially because he's a -1. I feel much more comfortable doing this. Maybe this is Covert Cloak. Yeah, there's a Chili. So I think in this situation, I might have to risk the Iron Head flinching me. We know it's Life Orb. What if it's Life Orb Adamant? Life Orb Adamant does not knock me out. So I think in this situation we have to use Fez to knock out his biggest threat. Fairly simply, I think that's got to be the play. And as much as I want to Heat Wave, yeah, no, I think I got a Heat Wave. I've got to go for it. Fez has not exactly done me too proud in this game. Granted, it has been good. It has not got a single toxic chain so far. So, yeah, that's fun. We have enough defense that we were able to live Adamant, Life Orb, Iron Head from Sandslash. And a flinch would be devastating. A miss would be equally devastating. In comes lands. That was... yeah, that's a Sandslash. Again, it's going to take everything. Reflect does wear off, but we should always be able to take this hit. He Iron Heads. He kills us. He crits us. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, that never killed. That literally never killed. Have I got to go for loser? I've got to go for loser, right? I don't have a choice. I've got to go for loser. This game's still winnable. This game is certainly still winnable. All I've got to do is get my Hawlucha activated first. So I'm going to go for the Aqua Cutter. It should kill. There isn't any reason, right, why it shouldn't. For loser, knockoff would hurt, but I am going to Terra against Terra Water. Yeah. I have no choice. This is the play I've got to make. It's just how it is. I've got to make this play. Man, that sucks. That sucks real bad. Because Pheasantipty was great against the rest of his team. I don't know how he broke it. Saying that, if we get rid of this, we can set up our screens again, and we can set up with Hawlucha, is what I'm thinking. I've just got to find that endgame. So, Earthquake would do 48 to 57 to me. Does he have anything that actually outspeeds me afterwards? I don't think he does. Aqua Cutter should always do enough. It does like 58 min. There's the EQ. That does a lot of damage. That looked like it did more than Calc, but... oh well, it is what it is. The threat's down. The biggest threat I would say to my team is down. Is there anything... crit? Didn't matter, we asked go blends. That's kind of what this set's meant to do. So the Dunsparce, 53 to 62 if it's not physically defensive. That is respectable ass damage. This I assume is Scarf, just from the way that he's brought this in. Like, we do have a switch in. We do have switch ins. Does this beat the rest of his team? I mean, I can tell you what probably does beat the rest of his team. Wait, he doesn't need to be Scarfed to outspeed me here. He doesn't need to be Scarfed. I think you're pretty much useless. So I am just going to go into you. And if he knocks, he knocks. He just gunk shots. That does a lot of damage. And I will just Shadow Ball. He misses. Okay, so this could be really, really vital damage. I guess the question now is, does that do enough to my Hawlucha? It should give me my Citrus. No matter what, I bulk here. I always bulk. Yeah, he's Scarfed. That is not going to take me out. It is going to get the poison though. So, don't think we can actually win this game from here. I don't think we can. If we get rid of this, then maybe? Regardless, I acro. If he gives me this, he gives me his Scarfer. And he's slower with everything else. Like, I think he's got to know that, right? Maybe he lets me have this? Like, that would genuinely be best case scenario, is if he just lets me have this. I am struggling to see an endgame in which I'm in a good spot. But I guess actually if his last mons are like his last mons, then there's a chance. If he gives me this, there's a chance. He is going to let me get this. Okay. If you go Grimmsnarl, I'm going to Drain Punch. If you go anything that's not Slowking, I'm going to Drain Punch. Goes into Dumban. So I will Drain Punch this. I will Drain Punch. There's definitely still a chance. He does have a Reflect. It's not quite going to do enough, but it might give me enough to be able to live the poison, which is the main thing. And then I want the Slowking in, right? Yeah, I think I want the Slowking in. So here we go, Slowking here. I Acrobatics to get as much damage as I possibly can on it. How well does Veluza take it on? If we are able to crit, nothing should be quicker, is what I'm thinking. Like, nothing should be quicker than me. He hasn't shown what other moves he's got. He sets up the light screen. Okay. So that gives me the ability to set up my screens in return. He's got to be thinking of an endgame here. Like, there's got to be a very specific endgame he's going for. Regardless, I'm going to get my screens up. And then I'm going to recover with my Veluza. There's the Dunsparce. So I have to Reflect first. Yeah, I have to reflect. If he's mixed, then that's a fantastic bring on his part. EQ I don't think will do enough. And if that's the case, I think I'd go for Scold, actually. This is still a close endgame, despite everything that's happened. He roosts, that's fine. Which case I will Scold. And hope for a burn. No burn. Covert Cloak on everything. And then I light screen on this. Or do I just Scold and hope for the burn? No, I light screen. I light screen 100%. Light screen and hope for the best. He just EQs. Okay. So, if a loser has to recover, not take a lot of damage, and then it needs to go fucking sicko mode. Like, actually ridiculous mode. Can you do it, the loser? I would love to see this happen. No matter what, I've got to recover. And if he paras me, would be tough, but still winnable. Because I believe even after a para at +2, but paralyzed, 192 I would hit. And currently, I hit 192, which makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we're going to recover. Recover and hope for the best. That's all I can do here. Facade? That's going to do nothing. Yeah. So I can recover again. And then I can fillet away. And I recover again. So now I fillet. And there is certainly hope. There is certainly hope. So yeah, my reflect's gonna wear off, that's fine. I now just recover. Because his reflect is also gonna wear off. But realistically, I'm praying for a crit at this point. His reflect is already worn off, in fact. I'm pretty sure. Facade is going to do not a lot. So once again, I just recover. I've got enough. It's a little bit of a stooly endgame. I will say it's a bit stooly. But there's always hope. The loser could have just clutched this one up. It's going to be a very close one. But maybe he's done enough. So this turn I just Aqua Cutter. My team's reflects worn off. So yeah, I'll Aqua Cutter here. Because I can't afford to fillet away again. That's just how it is. That's going to crit, knock it out. Amazing. We are Scope Lens. Just going to reiterate. We are Scope Lens. Do we have Eternal Light Screen? We should have Eternal Light Screen. I think we've actually done that perfectly. This isn't... So this should die. This should just always die. Even without a crit, I believe this should die. So we may have just clutched this one up. Night Slash is going to knock it out. Well then. Man, this is why you don't give up. When you have the things go against you, you still got to go for it. You still got to play the game. I'm sure you could probably hear the tilt in my voice a little bit when we got crit with our Peasantipity, because him losing Sand Slash really did give me the game. But I will say that him just sacking Okidogi there also gave me the game. However, it would never have taken a fillet away attack after that, but I may not have got my position, got myself into a position to do that. So yeah, fantastic game, Uzi. That was a lot of fun. I did run Scope Lens specifically just to crit shit, but yeah, good game to Uzi. Make sure to check out his side of the battle. Leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. We are now 3-3. Playoff hopes are not entirely in the bin. There is a chance. And yeah, one more win out of our last 2 games I think would be putting us in a pretty good position, albeit our differential is absolute garbage. But until next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.